In December of 1531, something happened in Mexico that would change the entire spiritual landscape of the Americas. At a time of deep conflict, colonization, and cultural tension, a humble indigenous man named Juan Diego encountered a woman who called herself the Mother of the True God. What followed was a sequence of events that defies logic, history, and science. Today, we explore the miracle of Our Lady of Guadalupe and why her message continues to speak to the heart of humanity. The story begins shortly after the Spanish conquest of Mexico. The indigenous people were living in fear. Their world had collapsed. Diseases had decimated their population. The tension between cultures grew stronger every day. Missionaries tried to preach the gospel, but conversions were slow. Suspicion, suffering, and trauma created a wall that seemed impossible to break. It was in this moment of darkness that heaven chose to intervene not through power or force, but through tenderness and beauty. On the morning of December 9th, 1531, Juan Diego was walking across Tepeyac Hill on his way to Mass. Suddenly, he heard singing, gentle and otherworldly. As he approached the source of the sound, he saw a woman clothed in radiant light. She was young, beautiful, and dressed in garments that spoke directly to the Nahua people. Her features were neither fully Spanish nor fully indigenous, which was itself a sign of unity. She greeted him with affection and called him by name. She said she was the Mother of the True God and asked him to go to the bishop and request that a church be built on that very hill so she could show her love to all the people. Juan Diego obeyed, but the bishop, Juan de Zumarraga, hesitated. He needed a sign. When Juan Diego informed Our Lady of the bishop's request, she smiled and promised that she would provide proof, but the next day something unexpected happened. Juan Diego's uncle suddenly fell gravely ill. Desperate to bring a priest to him, Juan Diego tried to avoid the apparition site so that he would not delay. But Our Lady intercepted him lovingly, telling him those words that have echoed through centuries. She said, "Do not be afraid. Am I not here who am your mother?" It was a message of compassion spoken to a man who felt small and powerless, and to a nation wounded by violence and division. She assured him that his uncle had already been healed. Then she instructed him to climb the hill and gather the flowers that he would find there. This seemed impossible. It was winter. Tepeyac was barren. Yet when Juan Diego reached the top, he found beautiful Castilian roses growing in the cold earth. He placed them carefully inside his tilma, a cloak woven from cactus fiber that normally lasts only a few decades. Our Lady arranged the roses with her own hands. She told him that this would be the sign for the bishop. When Juan Diego stood before Bishop Zumarraga, he opened his tilma and the roses fell to the floor. But the greater miracle was the image that appeared instantly on the fabric. The bishop fell to his knees. It was the image we know today as Our Lady of Guadalupe. The tilma became not just a sign, but a message that spoke directly to the indigenous culture. Every detail held symbolic meaning. The blue-green mantle was the color of royalty. The stars on our cloak matched the constellations of the winter sky in 1531. The black ribbon around her waist signified pregnancy to the Nahua people. She was presenting them not only herself, but also her son, who is the true king. Perhaps the greatest miracle is that the image remains intact almost 5 centuries later. Cactus fiber should have disintegrated within 20 years, yet the tilma shows no sign of decay. Scientists have examined it repeatedly. There are no brush strokes, no known pigment matches the colors. The fabric resisted an acid spill, a bomb explosion in the passage of time. In the eyes of the image, researchers discovered reflections that behave like human corneas, showing the exact scene of Juan Diego before the bishop at the moment the miracle occurred. These details cannot be explained by normal artistic technique, but beyond the scientific mystery lies the deeper miracle. After the apparition, more than 9 million indigenous people converted to Christianity in less than 10 years. What missionary work had struggled to accomplish over decades happened through a single image and a single message of maternal love. Our Lady of Guadalupe transformed not only individuals, but an entire culture. She brought healing where there was pain, peace where there was conflict, and hope where there was despair. Today, millions still visit the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe in Mexico City. Pilgrims walk for days or even weeks to stand before the miraculous tilma. They look into her eyes seeking consolation, direction, and protection. Her message remains universal. She speaks to those who feel forgotten, those who struggle with identity, those who suffer injustice, and those who crave unity in a divided world. She reminds us that God enters human history not with domination, but with love, and He chooses the humble to carry His greatest messages. If this story touched you, take a moment to reflect on what Our Lady might be asking you today. She always leads us to her Son and invites us to trust Him more deeply. Before you go, please support this work by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this story with someone who needs hope. Your support helps this mission reach more hearts and tells the platforms that this kind of content has value. Thank you for watching, and may Our Lady of Guadalupe guide you always.